we start. You have to, and you'll see the record will come up on the screen too.
Almost opened that window up and man, it looks nice in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I was lucky.
I said, isn't that your Rico?
Yeah,
Look at that
Radiation, they lost a patch of hair here.
in music
Radiation was on
program,
his
because I was
salivary
music
gland
at
area.
that point,
It
and
grew back,
Syracuse was
black,
looking for a
and he's
trumpet
got-
player.
They're like,
Chris, I'm gonna send you Denny's
I
picture.
said, Bill,
Send it to me
he's got
again.
black hair. I've never known him with black hair.
No, 61. 61, no, it wasn't nothing, it was 61.
Like, yeah.
You were there and so was I.
Yes.
I never met him when he had black hair.
Syracuse played Alabama in 1951. Well, it was the January of 53.
Yes.
January of 53.
How do you hear this?
And you scored half the
At my age, I'm done.
Even you was.
You are.
Monica, I'm not gonna be able to give you.
No, we're talking.
Well, they scored, what, 6 touchdowns?
Blow up your camera, keep it.
Oh, were you?
I was
I remember
there.
watching on TV.
Are you
Yeah,
in?
it was the first game.
Now everybody gets suspended in order.
Those are tough games to be at. I mean, they're full of so much.
139.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Okay, so first vehicle, I was doing.
a lot of history when you get to thinking about it.
I'll make you
I had to do some work on my generator.
Right.
No, I just received
I don't take anything. No, I get it.
There it is.
Except for a year, I have to take classes.
Pretty much, I understand that.
How's your wife getting along, by the way?
That was when we wanted to
Have the
communicate,
same
right, after
little problem.
No.
Hank, what?
Parkinson's, but I think it's only-
Yay.
Just had an evaluation.
Oh, no.
She's
That's trouble. Yeah, why are you? And he's all cleaned up and everything.
Long time no see.
takes a lot of.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you.
Thank you.
But she takes it and,
Well, you exercise is such a, I mean, I
every day.
still working, probably exercise.
I'll ask.
Starting to get a few more.
So I plan.
He's not going anywhere.
Really, we have to
Can't go anywhere.
Next month we're gonna be in the church up
She really did need it.
Yeah.
So she was off. She couldn't.
See, there's a beam back there.
Well,
That's a new TV. Well, we can put the birds.
I haven't played since,
I gotta tell you, my
They were
brother,
surprised.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, TV.
yeah, I don't
when I mounted my
Yeah. Are we all set?
We're all set. I got 2 o'clock.
Recording in progress.
Here,
Recording?
call this meeting to order. Wildewood Springs, September. Confirmation of proper notice.
Notice posted on the 13th according with statutory requirements.
Roll call.
Cookie Finch. Here. Dan Vistano.
Here.
I'm here. Shannon. Nope. Steve.
Yep.
Dick Picola.
Here.
Denny Palmer.
Here.
Karen Banker. Here. Monica Heigl.
Here.
Marv Howard.
Here.
Tammy Alborn. Here. Tiffany Conklin. Here. Barb Carey.
Here.
Gus Miller. Is he out there?
He's at a doctor's appointment.
He's not on.
Okay. John West.
Here.
So we have 11, well, we have 13
That one got a seat.
forms.
Come on in, grab a chair.
Can you move down,
Sure.
All right, he's all right.
Alright, I want to welcome everybody. Those here, those on Zoom, and those on the telephone. Next month, I guess we will be at the church. We are getting a full house here. Alright, we'll be welcoming back, I know a couple people have already gotten back from being up north, but I'm sure over the next month we'll have a lot more. Tree trimming was completed last month, and as most of you know, John and I usually ride the property pretty much daily. We've had all good comments from people we see as we've traveled a lot. Homeless situation is pretty negligible. We trimmed a lot of shrubs right up at the very end corner by 43rd, where they were hiding pretty well, and we had the guys go up and we trimmed the daylights out of it. And then Florida Power's been in, they've done a lot of trimming along the way because they're changing the telephone poles. So, but haven't seen a whole lot up there. That's really about it. Alright, everybody review the minutes?
I think I gave comments to John.
Yes, I overcopied and left something in, I meant to take it out.
Okay. So I think that's fixed from what I
Yeah, it
see.
was fixed on
That's all
this.
fixed.
So I'll make a motion to accept it if nobody else has.
I second.
Got a second? Any opposed? Nobody? Okay, they're accepted. Financial matters.
Okay.
There you go, Barbara.
Okay, our income is more than budgeted because we received the cable signing bonus of $125,000, a little over $125,000, which once I talk about CDs, we basically took that also and put it in a CD for the operating side. Under administrative, our insurance expense was lower than budgeted. Skip down to buildings. I'm just going to talk about what we might see as overruns by the end of the year. Under buildings, we are seeing more than budgeted electrical repairs, and that probably will be over for the year, maybe on that. Security, that's over only because of a billing issue with the vendor. Yeah. The pool and tennis, that's more than expected. Leak repairs, I'm not sure.
At their stadium at a meeting.
John, where do you see leak repairs by the end of the year? Is
Oh,
that
good.
going to be over? Somebody needs to be muted.
Somebody's talking.
Building
Yeah,
building
I don't know.
repairs in total probably won't catch up because of the electric, but in
The pool and
the
tennis?
pool and tennis, the leaks will not catch up.
Will not catch up, okay, so we'll see a little bit of overage for that by the end of the year. And of course, utilities is going to be a very large overage by the end of the year due to the higher than budgeted trash removal costs, which the county did not let us know until after we approved the budget.
The overall category though is coming down now because we're starting to see some of the non-people water and sewer. things like
Right, the
that.
seasonal
Yeah,
usage
so
items.
the overage each month has been lower constantly. It'll kick in again maybe in November.
Okay. Okay, any questions on that before I move on to the CD report? Okay, for CDs, we have invested a little over $1.5 million in reserve funds. And just on an ongoing basis, as they mature, we roll them over until we need those funds. On the operating side, the first two CDs, about $300,000, is the insurance funds we've been collecting in anticipation of next March's bill. So we've invested that just to get a little bit extra money there. And the Goldman Sachs CD is the cable signing bonus we took and put in a CD. So, any questions, anybody?
What's our year to date?
On the earnings?
Yeah.
The interest, just the interest on Edward Jones is about a little over $43,000 in interest earned. We expect to see, on the reserve side, we'll earn, still on track to earn $70,000 this year. And now the operating interest will be all gravy, because we really don't we really can't budget for that because we don't know how we'll need the funds, so.
Gravy net of taxes.
Gravy, well, that's gross,
Yeah,
right?
so there are.
Of course, we have to pay
They are
taxes on it.
taxable.
Yes. These are taxable, depending on what expenses can offset it, and the association does have some expenses that do offset it. It's a 30% tax rate. So, even though we're a
Still money we didn't have
nonprofit,
before.
Oh,
To answer Steve's question, board member trips are off written, so.
Another question in regards to that, we have security costs, which is a business expense. Would that be a deductible item? as
Security
far as
costs?
Security patrol costs as a business expense?
yes, that's part of the
Would that be a
not-for-profit.
deductible though?
Oh, yeah, that's all the association's expenses are deductible.
Yeah, and the health insurance you pay for employees is also considered a tax deductible. So, yeah. I think we paid $9,100 last year.
$6,100.
6,100.
6,100, yeah, that's well south of 30%.
Well, next year, because we're gonna be earning well over $70,000 this year, I'm estimating our tax expense might be over $9,000, so.
Receivable?
Okay, accounts receivable as of the August 31st, units that owe less than a quarter but more than $500 are 5. Units that owe 1/4 are 13. That's at that date now. I think it's 5 right now today. And units that owe 2/4, none. Units that owe them more than 1/4 is 1. And that's our old friend at 762. And 762 is back with the attorney for lien filing and foreclosure action. This would be the 3rd time around for them.
But they always pay, and they always
Always
pay
pay.
all the penalties
Yeah,
and
yeah.
crazy.
So all in all, we just have, out of 558 units, we have 1 issue, which is pretty clean.
All right, old business.
That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Second floor walkways, there is going to be some movement on this now. Basically says what I've said before. The work's well underway, but has issues that are developed, and that's primarily where we've removed materials such as pavers, polypebbles, and the like. The original contractor, where the issues are that slowed us down, has returned, and I hope to meet with him this week to resolve issues of the sticky tar. When he left to go on his cruise, he said he would definitely work with us to make right. Well, he's been around the world, and now he's back. So we'll be dealing with this week. Okay.
Good. Electrical repairs.
Unit 308 has had the temporary ground straps replaced. FP&L replaced their main line to the handhold on the west side of Cluster B. They also, at their expense, replaced the lines from the handhold to the meter of Unit 137 and 139, and I guess 138 too. Dan, right? All
Yes.
3, yeah.
There was 4 of us.
4 of us that got it. There were 4 units totally out when their line from the transformer to the handhold went out. And they replaced the ground straps at their charge because of their issue. Okay? There's work, work is underway by our contractor to replace the temporary ground strap for 502 and 503. As a matter of fact, they have an appointment with FP&L today, so they can finish that job. And I also found 737 had an issue last week, so we got a new one subsequent to my report here. So it seems like we're getting one every other week or so.
Wow.
And of course, at the next meeting, we'll be reviewing the proposed budget, which I'm not going to get into today because there's a lot of things to do with, but the budget committee has proposed some reserve funds for this issue that's ongoing.
Pickleball and tennis courts. The guy was supposed to start August 1st. Put us off, said, okay, third week in August. Then he doesn't call, then he doesn't call, then we call, no answer, no answer. At the end of the last week, finally we got a hold of him midweek, I think. And it's, 2-month project, all our winter people are gonna be back. Just, I can't see closing the courts for 2 months. So we pretty much, and plus we do have an issue with the lake drainage. And that's, we had 2.5 inches rain one night, 2.5 the other night. And, you saw, most of you saw the parking lots over here were full and the pond was overflowing. Tennis courts were underwater. So we have to deal with that. So we pretty much put the pickleball and tennis off till next year.
Good idea.
So,
What does that mean for the deposit we gave him? I mean, does that change, so now let's put it off a year, does that change the price of the
well,
contract?
he wants to keep some. We're negotiating that. And if he keeps the price the same, I don't have an issue with him keeping a little bit. If he'll hold the price over. But not the full down payment. We're gonna get a refund.
Are we gonna put a date in there when we're gonna do this?
Well, we talked to him and we were talking May.
I specifically suggest May 1st.
Yeah. Well, that's what we told him we would shoot for.
Did you ever get an answer as to why he wasn't responding to your phone calls?
Well, yeah, it was convoluted answer.
Yeah.
Well, this is a sales guy, and the sales guy doesn't really know what a construction guy knows, and the construction guy doesn't know what the salesman knows, and he apologized.
Well, apology's great, but.
He's still working on 2 of the jobs that were held up because of all the rain. But, I mean,
Well, but that doesn't negate him calling.
No, it does
No,
not, and we
no.
told him that.
You're talking about 9 months he won't be starting our project?
That doesn't, yeah.
You're talking
That
about
makes me
9 months?
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And this guy wants a deposit?
He's got our
No, he's got the deposit.
Why should he have
No,
9
he's
months
not.
to
He's
keep our
gonna,
money?
we're in negotiation. He said first he'd keep half, and then I told John that we wanna, that's too much.
I don't think he's entitled to anything, not after
Well, if
9 months.
we could cancel and get it all back probably, but then next year the price would go up. So if he'll hold the price, I
That's a
have no
gamble.
problems with
That's a
leaving him
gamble you
with
gotta take,
with
that's a
some.
lot of money, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
if he keeps 10,000.
Can we get all that in writing, just so we have?
What if they go
Depends.
bankrupt?
Yeah.
Well, I called him and asked for it all back. And he started with, well, we're good friends, blah, 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 that. And he said he wanted to check with his attorney. I said, if we're gonna get attorneys involved, now it's gonna get interesting. And I said, neither one of us need to do that. So then he called back about a half hour later and said that he would like to, it's fair for him to keep half, which Steve and I have talked about and disagree. So I put a call in for him. Personally, I would like to offer him $1,500. I mean, something to keep the contract going, but why does he need all that money?
Yeah, he doesn't
If it's
need that, he
$10,000.
just wants to make interest on it.
He's not mobilized, he hasn't bought materials,
Nothing.
so.
And what if he goes bankrupt? This guy's got our money.
That's what I said.
That's why you want to keep it fairly low.
Yeah.
you know. So we'll work on
Let's
it.
just take
Been
the,
around a long time. I
Take it all
expect
the time,
to go
9 months.
back.
take it all back and let's take a chance on how much it will go up.
I'm agreeable on that.
Is he the only one that can do it?
No, we have 3 bids. One
Okay.
was in the high 3s. One was about $25,000 more. And now there's this particular one. It's disconcerting that wants to hold that much money, in my opinion. And that's why Steve agreed with me,
I think we should send it back to the committee and have them do the deals as far as, and come back with the proposal that he has and we feel is good, and then we can vote on dumping it or keeping it. I think right now, us discussing it's not gonna get us anywhere, but we do know, I think May is a great idea, but I'd sure like to see a date in writing too. so on. But, you know, it's not gonna hurt us one way or the other. Better now than get half started and then stop or whatever.
Do we need, John, do you need to reach out to our lawyers to see what if we cancel or postpone or cancel this contract right now?
Well, that was.
What does that mean?
Well, that was my thought, certainly, and then the more I thought about it, the attorney's gonna say, send me the contract so I can read it and review it. And a quick question of, you know, what's normal on something like this? It's a 4 or 5 minute answer versus, let me look at the contract and go over it and research the documents. Now it's a 4 or 5 hour contract.
Yeah.
But I think probably we should know our grounds, you know, and, I mean, we should know our legal grounds. So it's probably not a bad idea if he becomes somewhat obstinate and give him money back. I mean, you know, if anybody has a figure that they're comfortable with, if there's 0 or 1,500 or 10,000, we can decide on that and then see if it's worth spending for $200 or $300 with an attorney, you know.
If he can pay back the deposit, I worry, as he gets started with the work, that he doesn't have enough money to buy the materials and pay his people, then we are halfway into a project. And as they say, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Well,
I've heard that.
yeah, have you?
That's an old one.
Anyway, this company has been around a long time, okay, so, but anybody can go under.
I know.
You know, but they're not exactly brand new. But, you know, I was surprised when he said he wanted to hold the money. I think he wants to, I think he wants to retain the contract. He doesn't want to lose the contract.
Yeah, John, who are you dealing with?
I'm dealing with the president and the guy who is the main man at the company.
Not the sales guy.
No, he's out of the package.
He's out of the package.
Yeah, he apparently doesn't answer his phone.
So we could get a one sheet of paper that said we've agreed to a start date of this and et cetera, and maybe one deposit, because at the start date, he's gonna want to increase whatever he's got to get to be able to go buy his materials and do whatever, right?
Well, the contract reads, you know, the percentage that we pay him upon signing, and then a further percentage after the ground is engineered and the asphalt is down, and then it's a series of payments in the contract.
Well, we can't get it solved, he can't sign anything until the water problem is solved.
Well, that's coming up, and that's another issue too. There's no question about the fact that we have to resolve the water issue first.
Yeah.
That really is the first thing.
Yeah.
We would have been postponing this whether he wanted to postpone it or not.
Yeah, we didn't tell him that.
No, you don't have to know that.
No,
No, you don't have to.
No, he's the one that said, I've got 4 jobs because of weather that I'm running behind, and so I just let that flow.
Well, why don't you get just a little bit from the
Yeah.
lawyer, it's not gonna cost us.
Well, let me see what he wants to do. Both, I'll
Yeah,
do both,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
If he comes down to, 2,500 or something like that.
2,500 as a good faith would be fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're working on that. Alright, tree in the wall, 141.
Okay, as we all know, this is again kind of strung out. A large oak grew into a wall behind 141. The tree came down, cost us $6,800. The stump partially ground, and that 68 includes the total grounding of the stump and all the roots. The roots are running under the wall for about 18 to 20 feet. We've contacted 2 contractors. One, he's done wall work for us before, but he doesn't want to get into this particular job because of the tightness of the area, and the removal of the footer is a little bit past what he wants to do at his age, as he's a single practitioner. So we talked to Lumsden Concrete, who's been doing most of our concrete work. They came out, estimated what would be done, what to do, and that's to remove 20 feet of the wall and the footer, pour a new footer, install a new wall to accommodate the gate, and that price is $8,600. My suggestion right now, because it's hanging out there for quite a while, is to possibly set a budget of $8,600, and if we can get a better price from somebody, we'll do so. Otherwise, we should move on.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So it'd be in order to have a motion to set the budget for the wall replacement at such and such price.
I make a motion to set the maximum budget of $8,600 to finish repairing the,
Remove it and replace it.
remove and replace the wall.
Is this plus $8,600 from the $6,800?
Well, yeah, 68 was taking the tree down. The tree was a monster.
So we got $15,000 invested. I still think there was,
Let it go.
Yeah, there you go.
okay.
Do I hear a
Thank you,
second?
Bob.
I second.
Okay, Pam
No,
seconds.
any-
Any opposed? All right, and so be it. New business.
No,
Or do we have old
drain lake. We still got to talk about
Drainage.
drainage. I'll get some update on the drainage.
No, okay,
All right, we've contacted, oh God, 5 or 6 or 7 contractors that do the type of work that would possibly require. And what's happening is the lake to the south of the sports court is not draining in the same rate the rest of it is, causing the lake to back up when heavy rains go over a good portion of the sports court itself, the pickleball area, and back into your driveway and then into the carports in Palm Tree. One man was coming out 6 different times. We finally said he'll meet us at 4 o'clock. Well, apparently Steve and I got tired at 4:30. He showed up at 5:30, but we still haven't heard anything from him. But we've also put some feelers out to national companies that do this work. And we got a call from a contractor in Jacksonville that works everywhere. And actually Steve filled out an online that came from Iowa to this guy in Jacksonville who says he does work all over the area. Matter of fact, they're working in Lakeland right now. But anyway, he wanted me to send them a picture, a Google Earth of what our area is so he could get the general idea, which we just did today. But anyway, this will show you where the lake is, and it shows you where the drainage goes to the lake down at the very bottom. But be about 250 yards, something of that nature. Somewhere in there, or maybe totally, or 80% is either crushed or blocked, not all that collapsed. Could be very, very expensive, but there's no other way to take the water. And there's a catch basin here, and there's two more here that were uncovered by Steve and Jeff with just going out there and poking around. And there's another one here, but we think there's one more here too. And we're not getting the flow, just not going through there. So we're hoping to get an estimate from this gentleman with an idea. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. I just sent him this morning. Any questions?
Is it corrugated pipe?
If you can look, you don't want to, but at the foot of Wildwood Springs Boulevard, we've had some collapses there,
I saw that.
and there's one exposed, and it's about a 2-foot corrugated pipe. It's
Yeah. Big
all
pipe.
put down,
They just rust out. And
put down about 1975, probably.
Can't we run a camera in there and see where it's crushed?
the guys that we've talked to said if you're gonna run a camera, they need to have the water down, which would mean we would literally have to pump that lake out.
Oh.
Yeah.
We should have done that when we didn't have any water.
So, I don't know anything about fixing this other than it needs to be cleared out, but is the job entail just seeing between which catch basins is clogged?
Could be all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be all of them, but I mean, if,
Could
like,
be.
you sent him the picture and he's gonna price out the whole length, but what if the clog is only in the first bit, then it's priced accordingly, or?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is open-ended. This probably would be, in my opinion, a parts and labor type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how we would know. As Steve said, they can't run a camera down it unless they're drained of water. And every contractor said the same thing, it was a surprise to us. And the water is standing very, very high in all the catch basins.
So what do they do? How do they,
Well, we're gonna hear.
Pull the tires.
I mean,
Send the little Portuguese guy. Let him find the press.
It's a work in progress.
I know.
I was surprised that we had such a hard time finding contractors.
That's what we did at
So
work.
the water goes all the way from this pond, all the way up to the one,
All the way to
The
back.
big lake.
no, it's going this
No,
way.
it's going
that
south.
way.
It's going
where?
south.
It's going south. In other
Okay,
words, this is north here. I mean, the
okay,
lakes north, the lakes south of the office here go that way.
okay.
The lakes north of the office go
Go
that
the
way and
opposite
that
way,
way.
okay.
So this goes south.
Yeah.
So the left side is 43rd?
Yeah, this is 43rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get hold of the Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah.
Well, we had plans of everything here, all of our drainage and everything else, except the corrugated piping between the lakes. We've got all the buildings and everything else, so, because we scoured the plans, hopeful to find something.
I just go back, because I'm very visual. So, this is.
This is
See, the office would be right here.
Office is
Right here, okay.
It goes all the way back to the back lake pass.
Oh, so it's not going south. This is the big lake.
No, the big
Then it
lake
comes
all the way
around.
around this way.
Oh, okay.
That's, it goes to that lake, then over to this lake, and then around and across the.
It is possible that it's not a pipe as well, correct?
It
Require dredging and.
Could be a dead body.
could be a dead alligator,
A
could be
dead
anything.
animal, yeah.
Do you have some,
There's a depression all
Yeah,
along there.
there's a
Is
swale.
it- You think the pipe's in that
Yes.
depression?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is in weed trees now, you know, really covered up pretty good in the one section.
Yeah.
Jeff and I sort of, we had a big metal stake and was just popping. We heard concrete. That was a drain.
Sure.
And we'd dig it out. And there was like 3 of them we found that were covered with about.
You're a plumber, can't you just take care of this thing?
I would figure somebody would have a
Yeah,
machine with
rotor,
a screen and a metal,
Yeah.
just follow the pipe.
Yeah.
Giant rotor.
Maybe that's what they
Yeah,
do,
right?
professionals.
For a large
We're gonna
nominal
hear
fee.
anyway, and what we hear, we may not like, and we may wanna go elsewhere, but unfortunately, this does have to be resolved if we did something or didn't do something with the courts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because-
Protecting the parking lot.
Yeah,
I think Karen's getting tired of parking in water.
Tires, yeah. Get a boat.
Well,
Army Corps of
And
You
there
can't have
could
a
be-
boat on the property.
There could be alternative ways to do this, correct?
Yes.
I
yeah,
mean,
it could be.
theoretically, you could blow it out with compressed
They
air
do all the,
if it were just full.
If
they
it-
do all the sand work on the
Theoretically.
beaches.
Yeah, it could be
Because
just silt going in there,
Yeah.
who knows?
It's public.
And- But what we've seen in other areas is disintegration, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so then that's a work
I
in
was
progress.
just,
Yep.
Question.
very visual.
Not on this subject, but on old business. At one time, we talked about the trees in the shopping center. Has that been scheduled and has that resolved itself?
That's a good question, John.
We signed it.
We signed an agreement and, per the board's agreement, and they said they were gonna jump on it hastily. Haven't heard a word.
Okay, but that's under control.
So, yeah,
The
it's gonna
second
be
one-
their expense,
Good.
so.
So, but
Second
we signed
question
it, so
that
they're
came
not
up
gonna
is,
sue us, right?
when are we gonna do the power wash on the walls?
We're starting that in about 2 weeks.
And that's
Everybody's
scheduled
back,
to go?
yeah.
Okay.
And it's gonna be, Eddie's gonna do most of it with the assistance from Jim, who started last time.
Excellent. That was the 2 questions I got from my neighbor.
So that's,
Now, just one other one in old business, and that's the stop signs up at the shopping
Oh,
center. I
yes.
told
Oh.
John to go ahead and order 2 stop signs, let's put them up on both sides and be done with this. Cause I saw somebody come flying through.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a fender bender, there has been an accident.
That was somebody who was coming into Wildwood
Oh,
Springs.
was it?
They came in the wrong driveway, they tried to hit it head on with the guy.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, my God.
This was
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yes.
Oh, well, he did.
but the signs,
Happy hour.
the stop signs have been ordered, John.
Okay.
I have a question. When they first develop a community like this, they have to submit plans to the county for their sewers and runoffs, where exactly they are in place. Is there any,
these could have been put in by lake people, not the county.
No, but the county has to approve their plan to build this for the water runoff and for the water to the units. Is there anywhere a plan that shows?
Those pipes.
Right,
Well, we
right
don't
now,
have pipes.
Monica, right now, we do not have them, but should they ultimately be required, we certainly can call
Go to the county.
the county to see. Don't forget, this is 1975,
There
God
might not
knows.
be any plans, there
Yeah.
might be regulations or something.
It may have been done just to be done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, it
75
was the
is
original land development, I don't know
Yeah,
if
all
Neil
the
did it or who
yeah.
did it.
All the sewer piping we have, we've got all those,
Okay,
For
but
all the
not
drainage,
the, not
water.
the lake draining,
but
no.
no, not the lake.
But that if
least
it's
not on the ones
required,
that
if
we
it's
have.
required, I mean, with today's technology, they can probably follow that line pretty much. Especially you can walk it and you see there's depressions.
Yeah, you see where it is.
Going, yeah.
You got a real good idea where it
It's
is.
a matter of finding a contractor who has an idea of how he can do it or how he can look at it, check it.
Can you walk back there? Can you walk? No, I've never been back there. No, I've never been either.
All right.
Take a look.
New business, communication.
First communication was that Monica reported a vehicle that was driving erratically and stop sign violations and speeding, and I wrote a letter to the owner, and he came in and apologized and said that he'll drive nicely from now on. Secondarily, we have in attendance Mr. and Mrs. Roper, who was before the building committee. They bought 364, is that, that's the up and downstairs unit, and they requested ability to finish. They have two protruding walls, easy for me to say, protruding walls, and they wanted to be able to come across between the two to enclose the courtyard in that particular area. The building committee initially thought it was a pretty good idea, and then there was some neighborhood conference about loss of sight line, and then we got the ruling from the attorney regarding carports and common land, and as they came back, we suggested that we put up a hedge that would let them have some more privacy. Initially, they thought it was a pretty good idea, but then realized it wasn't the privacy they wanted. So ultimately, the building committee, because of the aforementioned reasons, refused their request, and so they're coming to the board. If you'd like to speak in any way.
Well, before they speak, I need to ask a question. How far out do those sidewalls come?
Pretty much like
Do we
this.
have a picture of
One
the?
comes all the way
This
almost
is
to
their
the
unit.
walkway.
One is almost a complete courtyard type, and the other one's set back.
Does your lanai face that pool?
Yes.
Okay, I've been by there. I often wondered why that hadn't been closed in.
Thank you.
And,
Even where the shore wall is.
no, if you'll, didn't Grace have the same thing in your cluster?
Yes.
And that was considered her, remember Grace?
Sure, Grace Angelo.
Yeah, that was the same concept, and that was considered her, she could have, I think she was told she could have put a wall up if she
Right,
desired
they even
to.
gave her a price at one time, she
Right.
didn't want to spend that much.
And so I don't see how this is different than Grace Ann's alone.
Well, it's not, but nobody evidently looked at the bylaws. Like the
Oh.
lawyer.
Yeah.
This is limited common space, and it cannot be sold or given.
Yeah.
And if we close it in, then we're being liable for anything.
You're setting a precedent then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the lawyer said.
Okay,
you
I was
you
just
just
going-
cannot sell common ground.
Okay, I was just going based on what Grace had
And that's
been
what we
told.
have to do.
I'm sorry.
But I think Pam had highlighted it was the lawyer's decision from the carport, and that's what brings it now to the
If you read the
forefront.
bylaws, you'll
Yeah.
find that.
Yeah.
That in there. Just nobody put two and two together.
So I
Would you
got
like
a
to say
request.
anything, Mr. Rowe?
If we get shot down on this ground, can I have a list of foliage, trees and shrubs that I can plant.
Or
back there.
we just, or us as new owners, we just want you guys, the board, you people, tell us what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. I don't wanna spend thousands of dollars and you tell me I gotta rip it out. I'm already upset because I was told that I could put a wall up when I purchased the unit. I never would have bought this unit if I didn't know I can put a wall up. So I'm really, really very upset about it.
Was that the realtor that told you?
Yes, and the people in the office, because I wanted a letter in writing, and they told me it was not necessary. And it's our 13th home in 34 years, so it's not my first rodeo, so I am very upset. And I would like to take a nap outside my back door and not have people watch me from the pool. So I just want you people on the board, tell me what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do, and move on.
I don't see.
Does that require referral back to the landscape?
There's one unit over here on, what is it, Spring Lakes, that we drive by the back of it, and they put up some heavy shrubs across, and it's, you know, we can't see them when we drive by.
If I can do shrubs and a gate, we're happy, but I don't want to do that, and then you guys tell me I can't do that.
Well, isn't the process, let me just interject this, that whatever she wants to propose to do, does that then just bring it to the landscape committee to bless it?
Either that or the building, one or two.
Well, no, I think if
Well, it's
it goes to
shrubbery now.
landscaping, it would
Right.
go to the landscape committee. I mean,
Okay.
Building is because it was a structural wall.
Structural, yes.
Yeah, no, I would think that landscape probably wouldn't have any problem with it, but.
Well, we did put some plants in, unfortunately, it was during the height of the drought, and they didn't survive. I think, Ms. Roper, you understood that I took you over and showed you the one area behind Miss Anzalone's that you were satisfied
Plus the
with.
unit has been empty for years and years and years, and the sprinkler system wasn't working back there until I inquired about that. I thought it was automatically on, it was never on.
So they didn't do well, that's right.
And then once I got started, then you guys got the sprinkler system going and what have you. I would like to take care of the backyard, so can you guys tell me today what we can do, what we can't do, or how does that work?
Well, pretty much you can put, you should draw up a little plan of what shrubs you want.
I'm not gonna do that,
All right, is
John.
there a,
Hang on one second, I'm not gonna do that. John said I can do any shrubs I want as long as it's native to what's at the complex. So I already picked out a shrub that you guys have next to us by the equipment at the pool, so it's already on the property, so I have to do a native plan. So I can do that if you guys like.
That just needs approval from the landscape.
The landscape
committee.
committee.
Okay, so that's another thing I want to know. We are new owners. The first meeting I went to, I wanted to find out what I could do, and I didn't find anything out. This is my second meeting. So then I'm gonna have to go to a third meeting with my proposal of what hedges I'm gonna plant, and then I'll be done, and then I can do what I want to do? Is that how this goes?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know. I appreciate
would
it.
there be an issue putting like an arbor gate between the hedges? It's not a structure, it's just a, or an opening.
Yeah, who is the chair?
I don't think the landscape committee allows any sort of structural additions like that, it's just plants.
A bunch of arborvitaes.
So why you not?
If I may, Susan, I will help you do what you need to do to get through the committees, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll sit down together and then I will make a presentation for you at the landscape committee.
Okay, so explain to me again why we're not allowed to have a wall on the back of our property. Explain, I want to know word for word.
If I may, let me try to do it, I know what Steve did, I think, but the area, when you buy a condominium,
That does not have an existing wall.
when you buy a condominium in our condominium and condominiums like ours,
Okay.
you're buying the internal space of the walls you live within.
Only.
That's all you're buying. Some condominiums, when they were built, had walls, courtyards put in the back at additional costs before everything turned into an association where the grounds are common. Since yours is not enclosed, yours, the minute you step out in the back of your door, you're walking on common ground owned by 558 people, yours among them. To enclose that area would be then encroaching upon the ability, even though they shouldn't go up to your back door, anybody walking on the common grounds. And that's not me or Steve or the board, that's the attorney's ruling that we have to live
I
by,
understand that.
according to your
And that's fine,
documents.
yes.
So
Okay, I
that's
just
why
wanted
we're
to
trying to help you and
explain,
give you some privacy.
Yeah.
There are 3 other units, not like yours,
Well,
on our property.
You showed me one.
Yeah, all right, there are three others that are not, that are open, wide open now. So people just didn't pay for the wall.
Right.
So, but I will do everything to help you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good call.
Is there still a list of acceptable plants and shrubs?
Basically what you see, I mean, you know,
So
I
if
mean,
it's here, we
yeah,
can
if
buy
you
it.
put up a cactus garden, the answer's gonna be no. I mean, you know,
But just to let you know, the hedge that I picked that is right next to the pool equipment.
okay,
Okay.
okay, yeah,
It's on my
I
phone, but I have somebody pick
you
it
know,
up on my phone. I'll take
yeah,
it back.
I think I know what you got there.
Yeah, it's a very, very pretty hedge.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, managers report?
Now we got Spectrum.
Right there.
You know what, do I have to do that for you too?
You got the old one.
Oh, I got the old one.
You got the old one.
Here,
Yeah,
I
all
will
right.
share with you.
That's all right.
Little disappointed in contacting Spectrum. We certainly, I think, were under the impression that we were going to get a tutorial and what have you about this transition. We signed the contract, they sent us the money, so I guess that's two steps. When I called Mr. Luger, I said, when are we going to have equipment exchange? When are we going to have you know, somebody coming out to make a presentation? And he said, oh, let me go look and see when we're going to make this transition. I said, well, it's like less than 2 weeks. And so he confirmed that, and he said, oh, he says, well, you know, I can come out and make a presentation. I said, well, you kind of promised you would. And so he can set that up, or we can set up on a Zoom that people want to take a look at. Maybe we can have a meeting, and so I will do that. Secondarily, he said there's going to be no mass equipment change, i.e. everybody's equipment that they have now will work under the new system. But one of the advantages, of course, of this contract is the $10 a unit a month less. It's also additional equipment. Everybody is to get at least one DVR. Some people are paying for DVR now, and that will go away for those who are paying for it. But some people don't have a DVR, and if they want one, they have, under the scenario that he's proposing, is you take it over to 14th Street, and they'll exchange your non-DVD DVR for a DVR.
Can I ask a question about the DVR? We've been able to have a free DVR. If you have one box and one free DVR, what we're paying for is the DVR service.
Yeah,
So does he mean now
should
that
go
he
away.
won't
that should
have
go
to
away.
pay for the DVR service?
That's correct.
Okay,
That's what we understand.
okay, that would be wonderful.
Yes, okay. But, yeah, Dick.
What I hear is that we would pick up a DVR and we set it up ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, for those of us that aren't tech savvy,
Well, that's why we're trying to get a
Okay.
meeting.
That's why we're trying to get a meeting to have a full explanation.
The DVR box
Did you
is no
say
different
we are
than
or are not?
well, I was just thinking, trying to set up the remote on a new DVR, might take me 2 weeks.
Dick, I'll come and help you.
And I know I'm not alone, I'm just thinking of.
Dick, call Cheryl. She'll-
Wait, no, we'll get someone from first grade. We'll get some grand trainer over. That's right.
I think, John, you got it, I think you're in the middle of yours.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
One at a time.
All right, there's also another piece of equipment called
Zumo.
Zumo, spelled with an X, X-U-M-O, that apparently extends the, you can take a box. If you want a Zumo and put it someplace else, you have to take it in one of your boxes. Same thing.
Okay.
But
So
we're
it's
gonna
an-
learn more when he comes out.
Maybe.
But,
It's an exchange, more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you
Now-
have only one box, you can get a Zumo.
Yes.
Okay.
The last time I went over to 14th Street, I had to wait 2.5 hours, so make an appointment. Make an appointment if you're going over there.
Yeah. Barbara.
So when he comes in, and people, can we record it so that whoever is not able to attend that day,
Yeah.
moment in time,
And I
they
think we
can
can
then
try to
go
Zoom
look
it.
at it?
Absolutely, we do both recording and Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we would bring the camera in and
Yeah.
re-record it.
Okay, because that's what goes on YouTube, right?
Yes. Well, either the Zoom goes on YouTube or this does. Either, we do both.
Also, you guys can stream Comcast to ATV in your house. You don't have to have any kind of box. If you have one too.
That's the
But
Zoom.
we don't have
No,
that.
I don't have Zoom. I took it back.
What do you have, you Roku?
I just have a smart TV. You just put on Spectrum and it comes right on.
Oh, but you subscribe to Spectrum.
Through you guys.
Yes, okay, yes.
I was just saying, if
That's
you
what
have
I
more
mean,
than
sorry.
two TVs,
Yeah.
there's a way to
Yeah, I
watch
have
TV
that.
without paying them.
You just need the internet, that's all you need is internet, yeah. Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, the Zumo,
Zoom was very difficult.
Friends up to date now.
have you tried Zumo?
Yeah, he returned it.
And the only benefit of it, you can go on vacation.
And the other benefit is it records, allows you to record more than the DVR, and you can record more than two things at the same time and watch something else.
All my cards are here.
But on the streaming or Spectrum, you can go to any show, anything you want.
Pick it up at any time, you don't have to take it.
In a previous conversion, they shipped us boxes. Do we know whether they're gonna do that this time around?
What I'm told is that you have to take it in and trade.
So we could have 100 or 150 people in our association.
No, I'm not changing anything on mine. I've got what I want.
Yeah, but those that don't have it are going to have to go out to get it.
Theoretically, you could have 558 people.
Yeah, it was.
You know, but yes, that's gonna be, well, maybe we can resolve something when it comes out.
I think we ought to try to set something up with them, and that's kind of the way we set it.
Yeah.
One day when you can come in and exchange them, and people
exchange,
are here, we should try to do something.
Yeah,
I thought that was my understanding of that
Maybe we could get them, if we have a number of people who need a different piece of equipment, a separate specific day could be set up, and they would bring that equipment, and we would turn our equipment into them. That's what I'm asking. For the number of people, I have no idea how many people do not have the new equipment, but it could be 100 people, or it could be more.
Well, and you're right, when I was surprised at what he said, I was fully anticipating equipment delivery.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he said when we had that executive committee meeting with him.
Well, we'll have another meeting with him.
I think, didn't I, in our last contract negotiation, what was that, 4 years
10
ago?
years ago.
We also had to.
7.
We had a 7-year contract? Okay. We also had to change out our equipment at that time, but it was up to each person to go to the office and change it out, exchange it, and do all that themselves.
Have you ever been to the one on 14th Street?
No.
Not 14th Street, I was at
way
Sept.
out.
That
By
was
Mission
great.
Barbecue, it's over by
There was
Mission
one
Barbecue.
on
I checked the one.
Yeah,
But this is a nightmare.
we've got in different places.
It's busy.
No, I didn't. I walked right in, I had an appointment.
Oh, shut up.
Walked right in.
I did too.
Got it, walked
The
out.
first time I didn't, because I didn't know.
There is another place out near where John lives, out on 64, it's on the other side of 75,
Yeah.
but it's a lot less busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually
That's the one
3.
I went
As you go out to one on the other side of 75, there's also one in between in their major office.
Yeah.
About halfway out there, by
Right.
Social Security office.
Did they
Yeah,
put
but
the
they
codes on?
don't take equipment anymore there.
Yeah,
Oh, I
right.
didn't know that.
No, they
No,
changed that,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay.
You have to go
Yeah, well,
further
it's
out.
real quick out by where I live, because they're in and out of there, 'cause never
Yeah,
anybody there.
I've been out there and it was real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get him in here and let's figure that out. Is he waiting for you to call him back, or is he?
Well, no, I'm gonna call him back right after this meeting.
Okay. If we can get it recorded, you know, if he can get demonstrations here and it's on a recording and everybody can look at and watch.
And then set up an exchange system.
Yeah.
well,
But by the way, Barbara, for that last change, I don't know if you've been retired yet or not, but we did have a massive delivery here at that time for some people.
Oh, I had to go do my own.
Yeah, maybe you after, maybe you
There's a
weren't here.
delivery here?
Yeah, oh, yeah, we had a Saturday or something like that. They had
Okay.
they brought prizes and they had a little party.
It was like horrible.
I thought I was already here.
get on to that. All right, manager's report.
A couple more items. The approved project to repair a portion of sidewalk leading to pool 3 from cluster I is complete. Also, a portion of the sidewalk near Pool 6 has been repaired. The new name of our attorney firm is Lobeck and Rowe, as Mark Hansen, after 28 years, has retired from Lobeck.
Do we care?
Do we care? We use Michelle Rowe almost all the time now anyway. So she's now a full-time partner. Grass cutting and weed trimming has been an issue lately due to the rain and soft turf. And I think this week we'll be able to finally catch up. First time in years that we've had people complain about grass cutting, and rightfully so, but when the lawnmowers are gonna bog down and cause ruts, we just can't go back there. So this should be the catch-up week. Also, the number of service requests managed since the last meeting at 257.
Committee report. Schools.
We worked on our budget, and our next pool committee meeting will be October 1st at 10 a.m. at Pool 1.
Chris.
We have an IT meeting scheduled for this Friday, the 20th, but we're going to have to cancel it. I have a prior commitment, and so we aren't going to be able to hold the meeting, so we'll probably not meet until next Friday.
So there'll be nothing Friday? No.
You're doing landscaping?
Landscaping, yes, there'll be a meeting Thursday for the landscaping committee. Yeah, let me see if I have this.
Yeah, look for mine too.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know if I have the schedule in here or not. It's, well, yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, yes.
Get Roz, ask her to, do you have the schedule? Roz has the schedule.
She can tell you.
Oh, yeah, oh, you have it.
You,
Oh,
you
got-
just wanna know what day it is?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
10 o'clock Thursday.
Yeah.
this Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. All right, so landscape meeting is the 17th,
The
19th.
What's the building? You got the building right there?
How about the building?
Wednesday, the 18th at 10
Yeah.
a.m.
There we go. All right. Now I'm ready. Now I can do building committee.
Without you, we're all dead.
My wife tells me every morning what I'm doing this day. She looks at the day timer.
So can we just verify it's on Friday the 18th, correct?
No, Wednesday.
What?
October 18th is a Friday according to my phone.
No.
No, we're September.
September.
September 20th? When is the landscaping meeting?
19th, 10 a.m.
Wednesday's the 18th.
That's Thursday the 19th.
Yeah, but I don't know.
John's gonna work with you.
9/19, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want me to do the newsletter?
Yes. Okay, next.
On Zoom too, right?
Yes.
So this week we had the newsletter kickoff meeting. We've got a lot of good input, and people are getting more comfortable with emailing me suggestions, which is very nice for those that can't attend or don't like to attend the meetings or Zoom in. So that worked out good. It's recorded and on YouTube, and that's it. We're looking to have be complete mid-October. Should be mid to late October. The next issue should come out. And we're gonna just be trying to expand the content, our crews at work and other interesting photos. People seem to like that. And that's it.
And all the articles have been solicited with a time date.
Good, thank you.
Okay, building committee. 18th.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And directors. Around the room, Monica, start with you. Comments, director comments.
Oh, I just wanted to say last year, US Open Spectrum dropped ESPN. This year I flew up to Michigan and AT&T dropped
So
the US Open.
So to direct.
Yes,
Directed,
they're trying to force people, they're trying to force it on pay-per-view. That's what they're trying to do.
It's all about the money.
All about the
Yeah,
money.
that's all about money, yes.
Follow the money.
Pardon me?
Follow the money.
Yeah. Danny?
None. Turkey.
I'm good.
Pam?
No.
Ooh.
Well, I just wanted to thank John publicly. I asked him to get pine needles cleaned up. I sent that in last night on a work order. My God, this morning it was done.
You're quite welcome.
That's our manager, Mark.
Yeah, I think since we're not going to be replacing the courts, we probably need to go over there and do some cleaning up and setting up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you want to talk about this meeting thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I recall, I thought we talked about this. The budget committee, I don't remember the timetable, but the budget committee needs some certain amount of time to get the budget approved. And the talk at the budget committee meeting was to do next month's board meeting a week earlier to give us more time to do things between meetings, because we need the time between November and December to get something done, to get approvals done.
That's right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. The
board
process
has to
is,
talk about that.
the meeting, the budget committee's basically finished, as I understand it,
Yes.
right?
I think so.
Yeah, we're finished.
Yeah.
So the schedule would normally be the second Tuesday workshop, with the third Monday being the acceptance of the budget for mailing to the owners. If everything was moved up a week, it would be more time to handle the mailing that goes to the owners, since we're going to have a vote this year. So I think that's what the idea was.
Yes.
Give more time between not the adoption of the budget, but the acceptance of the budget for mailing to the owners. So if we went with the first, if we went with, say, the 8th and the 14th
Of October?
of October, then we'd have a full month to get that mailing out before the 18th of November. For the unit owner vote. And what's happening is, historically, the owners, or the board has set up a budget that is quote-unquote fully funded. In other words, all the capital expenses are figured at the life and the time and the cost, and we're collecting money to fund them. This year, for the first time, the fully funded reserve would be over $1 million. But the funding of all reserved items can go as low as $700,000. And so, by statute, the law requires a vote of the owners. So basically, the question would be, do you wish to fully fund at $1.07 million, or the board recommended funding that will still, through escalating funding over the years, be ample and avoid special assessments for $650,000 or $700,000. The owners would contribute $650,000 over versus $500,000 last year, and the interest earned would be $50,000. And so that has to get out, and it's the first time for this association that I know of in history, and there'll be questions.
Is that because of the new legislation?
No,
Well,
the roof deck.
Well, it's more because we've factored in funding for new roofs in 14 years. We know we can use another covering in 4 to 5 years, but that'll be the last time we could use that. That's about a $1.8 million expense, where the replacement of the roofs themselves is about $7.5 million.
Yeah.
So we're trying to collect the money now, so we wanted to collect too much money later.
Right.
If I confused everybody. Yeah.
No, basically our documents literally say that we have to be fully funded for that year, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we don't have a funding plan to replace the roof deck over the next 14 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean we're underfunded, it's a technical, technically the way it's worded in our documents. Right,
Yeah.
so.
And to be quite honest, I've talked to somebody who just recently bought in here, and he did something when he worked, that he knew what to look for when he was getting into an association. And he said, we are, doing his research around here, we are the best by far financially.
Yes, we are. I know we are.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, and that's why they bought in here.
And that's one of our reasons, though. We had a kind of long key, and they're in bad shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got assessed about every 2 to 3 months, big time.
$60,000, $80,000.
$10 grand at a time.
Yeah.
68,000.
Lucky you could sell it.
Yeah. But we worked, so we couldn't leave.
So we
sold
appreciate
it.
everybody at these tables.
If it's over, and if it's over 3 stories, it's even worse.
It was only 3 stories.
Is it 3 or more, or over 3?
3 or more.
Yeah, but 3 or more is that, but ours is only 3.
Anything over 2.
Anything over, so they were in a 3-story,
Sorry.
so they were getting hit with extra stuff, yeah.
Okay, Monica.
Insurance funding, I heard, a couple of weeks ago, that it will be 14% increase for Florida?
We got a communique from our insurance agent saying that things are fairly flat this year on all the renewals. Their suggestion is about a 5% increase. The budget committee, rightfully so, in talking to them, put in a 12% increase what we paid, not a 12% increase on what we collected. Don't forget, we collected 1.5 million, but only paid 900,000. So I think the new budget calls for about a 1.006 million versus on top of 1.5. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with this budget that's coming out.
Okay.
Make a motion to change the meeting date for November?
About October.
October?
I second.
October. I move that the board meeting be moved to Monday, October the 14th at 2 o'clock.
I second.
At the church?
Yeah, church.
Yeah, I think so, with budget, we'll get more people.
Anybody
Workshop's
opposed?
the 8th.
Workshop's still the 8th.
Stays the same.
That's the 8th.
Yeah.
8th and 14th.
Yeah.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so be it. We're gonna meet on the 14th at the church, 2 o'clock.
Can I just ask, is there anything important going on at the workshop meeting? Because I may not be able to attend that.
Well, that's the normal schedule.
No, it isn't.
The workshop would be the second
Oh, it is?
second Tuesday.
Are we doing anything special with the budget at that?
All you're doing is accepting it put it on the
The
agenda.
agenda, okay. So if I miss the workshop, we're, all right.
That's gonna be a quick.
But we'll miss you.
I don't think so.
Back to corrections. John?
No.
Okay.
I'm good, good.
I'm an owner.
All right.
Oh, I got one more before.
Wait, online, do you have anybody online that wants to speak up?
Well, I got one more just before we do that. I'm sorry, I meant to have it in the manager's report, but as you know, FPNL, Steve alluded to it, put many new posts along their easement here. In doing so, they also had their crew come out and designate certain trees that had to be cut. So they cut back fairly good in some areas that will grow back, but it could cause some site problems out there, but that's their property. But unfortunately, they have to remove 2 trees, which, the landscape committee deliberated on. One's a canary palm by pool 2.
I don't know if they're gonna take that out.
Yeah?
They cut it. They trimmed it.
They trimmed it, but I still.
Just the leaves?
Yeah, they did, but no, we signed
I know we did.
yeah, there's a contract signed to remove 2 palm trees at their expense. They're gonna do the work. We'll see what happens. And they do have pink ribbons on them. So, but they did cut them. Yeah, you're right. And there's a tent in the in the walkway over there, but nobody seems to be in it. And somehow there's been a lot of skunk juice around there.
Oh, no. Skunks? No.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
can you do with wild animals?
Yeah.
There's a wild animal.
All right, all addresses are done. Owners, go ahead.
Is there any way we could nicely ask Wildewood 2 to paint their white line down the middle of their street? For those of us who exit out to 34th Street, in the dark and in people walking and when the sun's shining in your eyes, it's really hard, the white line needs to be painted. But
Wildwood 2 or Spring Lakes?
Wildwood
Going
2.
to the 34th Street, yeah.
Right.
So does the Spring Lake Road going 34th.
But
Sorry.
I think she's talking the back.
Wildwood 2's road out to 34th Street.
Out of Oakwood,
Oakwood,
right?
Yeah.
I happen to know a board member over there, so.
Well, one of them's out of town and the other one I never spoke to, but you know a board member over there, that's what you're saying.
All right, we'll see what we can do. All right, anybody online?
Jerry, did you want to say something?
Yes, I have a question. A couple of months ago, I believe we received a questionnaire as to whether, as owners, we would be interested in a carport. And I was wondering if anything happened with that survey or if anything was being considered if people were interested.
Jerry, if I may, I'll take it. We had over 100 owners interested.
Yes.
And we pursued the legal ability to do so. And
Yes.
The attorney ruled the fact that they would be constructed on common ground and could not be sold to owners. The only way it could go in would be a very complicated lease formula where to lease for 10 years, the owners would have to put the money up front for construction. It just got way out of hand.
Gotcha. I could appreciate that.
Yeah, so it's probably a moot point, unfortunately.
Okay. And one minor question, only because I received because you were talking about Spectrum and the changes and transitions, et cetera. So we all received a letter from Spectrum about that. I think it falls due starting effective October 1. But separately, I received an email from Spectrum about great news, enjoy Paramount Plus on us. Activate now. Is that something you're aware of, or is this some unique program?
Well, we would be. I have Paramount. I don't
No,
pay
Paramount Plus. This is a Plus.
No, I pay for Paramount now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Paramount's on regular. Is on there right now on Channel
This is
39 or
Plus.
something like that.
I got the same letter.
No, she's
or this-
talking Paramount Plus.
I know.
But I got the same email and I did not
Yes.
respond because I didn't know if it was a scam or not, so I didn't even.
Well, I
Right,
think
that's my
it's-
question. It doesn't look like a scam, but I didn't say activate now, so I don't know.
Chris.
Yes.
Chris.
I activated it, and it looks to me like it's a legitimate thing that Spectrum's doing. As a matter of fact, I had a paid subscription to Paramount Plus that I need to cancel now.
Okay. And also Max, we're getting Max free.
Right. It's a
Right.
part of the
HBO
new
Max
program.
and
Yeah.
Cinemax.
Yeah. Whoa.
So when they ask you if you want to activate now, you do it through your cellular computer, not your TV?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
perfect, thank you.
Well, I guess you're.
I did.
I did too. I got it.
Yeah, I have a comment as an owner. I respectfully disagree as far as the job that Brown did. They trimmed 10 to 2 on the sable palms, and in some cases they did 11 to 1. They just did not do the 9 to 3 that we asked them to do, and I would hesitate using Brown again. I really would. They just don't listen to us. It's been several years now. They haven't trimmed the way we've asked.
3 years.
And we had one of the arborists that we've talked to came in, and she looked at them and she said, "You don't need to trim any of the sables next year." And I think she's right. So I think that we really have to take another look at how they're doing it, because they do not listen to us. They do not do it the way we ask them to.
And we even went above and beyond and created extra material to help them identify it this year, and they still didn't do it the way we asked. But
And you can't put it back together again. once
can't
it's-
put it back together again, unfortunately.
I'm not certainly at all trying to justify, because we did explain Steve and I did many times and met with them. Conversely, on the other side, just to give you some feedback, we got serious complaints from the trimmers saying that they were criticized heavily by many owners for not doing more. Really, yeah.
It's what, I mean.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying what happened.
Matter of opinions.
We voted
Well,
on it.
oh, sure,
Yeah.
oh, no, listen, no disagree, I'm just saying what happened. I agree with you, yeah.
I can't imagine that being true myself.
Can't what?
Them saying that they got a lot of responses like that from the others, I can't
Oh, I
imagine
can't.
that.
Stick around for a while. People are gonna really.
It's really, to me, we have to educate our owners better, because I think sometimes they go and they look at Wildewood too, and they did pencil cuts. And they think we ought to do that, I guess. But a 9 to 3 cut is a big full cut. And it means that the fronds are going to be below 9 to 3, because it's where they're attached to the trunk, is where you determine whether you cut it or not.
At the fall.
So it's going to be below 9 to 3 when you get to the tips.
So thanks to Jan, who has brought up the owner, question about what's going on out there, Tiffany will write an extra article for the newsletter. So we'll help educate the owners.
She will.
I'm willing to write an article about species identification, but I would have reservations getting into the philosophy of why some owners want different things than other owners. I feel like that could get sticky.
Well, you can
Generally how they're being cut out there.
Well, they're not being cut the way that we
Just
been
write
wanting
what
them to.
the decision was by the landscape
Right,
committee.
right.
Okay, that's all.
Very
all.
simple
Okay.
article,
Yeah, yeah.
Don't get so technical, because most people don't care.
Yeah, okay.
It's a matter
I don't
of,
want to make anybody upset.
it's just
you
a
know.
matter of opinion. Because like I said, we have, when we're riding the property, when they were doing the trees, people were saying, oh my God, that looks great, that's great. Then, yet I had this out-of-town person from Miami visiting. Said, when are you gonna trim your trees?
Well, like you said, difference of opinion, but to reiterate for everyone that's curious, the purpose of the wider cut was to make the tree healthier, which makes them grow slower, makes them grow fuller, greener, and they'll bury less. So we'll have less berries on the sidewalks that people have, experienced issues with tracking into their house, their pets eat them and get sick. And to just illustrate how many less berries I'm talking about, a healthy sable palm tree is only supposed to put out about 4 berry stalks a year. Some of ours are putting out 12. So we literally have 4 times the number of berries because the trees are so stressed out. And this measure was to try to help them recover and be more beautiful and a little bit more balanced in our neighborhood.
Right there.
There's your article. If I can write that.
I would make another suggestion. You write the article, and the article's gonna come out now, I guess.
Yeah.
That should be reprinted and sent to everybody
The next one.
before we
Yeah.
cut them next time.
Exactly.
So they know what we're cutting when.
Yeah.
And why?
And
And
why.
why?
And all you have to do is go right to the recorder, because you have it word for word.
Thank you.
In case you forget.
All right, yes, I got it.
All right,
Thanks,
next
everybody.
meeting.
We already did that.
Set next meeting, so.
And I move we adjourn.
And I second.
All right, we're adjourned.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, Chris.